My mother said, "Son, Hawaii is canceled. We're having financial problems right now." I believed her, until I saw on Instagram that they had flown there with my brother. A month later, she came to me and asked for $200,000. I handed her something and said, "Take this instead." She looked at it and fainted. "My name is Christopher. I'm 31. Oldest son, electrical engineer, the one who knows which breaker feeds which wall and why the microwave trips when the space heater's on. At work, I design clean diagrams and label everything. At home, I live above a nail salon. Even my pantry is wired like a panel. Oats, top left, coffee, center, rice, bottom. Order makes me feel calm. Family-wise, I'm the fix-it guy. If something breaks, I get a text with a photo and a "can you swing by?" My toolbox rides in my trunk like a seat-belted passenger. Mom calls me steady. Dad calls me practical. My brother, Liam, 26, calls me captain. It started as a joke when I showed him how to solder. It stuck in all the ways that mattered and none of the ways that helped. We grew up in a small house with a loud TV. Dad worked union, then hurt his knee. Mom ran the house like a pop-up boutique. Always a new idea, always a magic fix just around the corner. Liam had a smile that got him second chances. I had a checklist that got me out of the way. That was our balance. Liam tried. I prepared. Mom believed. Dad worried. On holidays, I carved the turkey while Liam told stories. On school nights, I finished homework while he promised to start tomorrow. I'm not dramatic. I don't do speeches. I do chords wrapped the right direction so they don't kink. I do budgets with boring names like Emergency A and Emergency B. I do the kind of lunches you can eat with one hand while you hold a meter in the other. That's my speed, quiet, reliable, no sparks. 2 months ago, Mom called me at 9:42 p.m. I remember because I was at my desk cleaning the tips of my soldering iron with that little brass sponge. Her voice came in bright, like a lamp turned on all at once. "Christopher, we're going to Hawaii in October," she said. "A real vacation. Family time. We deserve it. I checked your PTO. You've got days." "You checked my PTO?" I asked. "You told me your login when we did that tax thing," she said, like it was the same as permission. "Don't overthink it. Say yes." I did. Not because I'm a beach guy. I said yes because she sounded excited about something with me in it. I put in the request. I even bought swim trunks with little blue sailboats because they were Ms. marked at the outlet, $9.99. I put them in a bag labeled vacation and slid it into my closet like I was storing a promise. 2 weeks before our dates, she called again in the middle of a site walk. I was outside a warehouse, helmet on, wind in the mic. "Son," she said, using the tone reserved for broken appliances and bad news. "Hawaii is canceled. We're having financial problems right now." "What kind of problems?" I asked. "Adult problems," she said, "the way people talk when the details are dangerous. We'll reschedule. Don't worry. We'll handle it. Do you want me to come over? Look at the numbers?" I asked. "That's our old dance." She panics. I spreadsheet. "No, no. Just be flexible," she said. "Okay," I said, because it's a word that buys peace. I worked through what would have been my PTO. I told my crew I'd take a Saturday. I tried not to think about the bag in my closet labeled vacation like it was a mistake in permanent marker. On day 3 of my non-vacation, I was on lunch break. I opened Instagram to kill 5 minutes. First story at the top. Mom, waves, a boomerang, palm tree emojis times 5. Next story. Dad, sunburned and smiling, a drink with a purple umbrella. Next, Liam on a balcony, captioned Alahia, with 2 mini A's and a song about good vibes. Different angles, same hotel. I stared until my fries went cold. The electrician in me had a dumb thought. Oh, the circuit wasn't broken, I just wasn't connected to it. Then the human in me felt a small, mean heat in my throat. I locked my phone, put it face down, and went back to work. I didn't text. I didn't call. I told myself there must be context. I said that word, context, like a prayer, as if it could pay a bill. 2 days later, I brought a pot of chili to their place because I made too much. Mom took it and said, "You shouldn't have. We're watching our spending." Liam walked in with pineapple in a plastic tub, tan lines sharp against his shirt. He grinned and snapped his fingers like we were in a sitcom. "Captain, you missed paradise," he said. Mom's eyes cut to him. "Liam, what?" He saw the stories. I looked at the countertop where a small puddle from the pineapple container had formed. I watched it creep toward the edge and then drip. I wiped it up with a paper towel. Nobody said thank you. I didn't bring up Hawaii. I asked about Dad's knee. He said it felt surprisingly good in the water. I said, "Nice." It sounded like someone else's voice. When I went home later, I threw the empty chili container in my sink and left it there on purpose. A small protest only I would see. I kept quiet for a month. Then she knocked on my apartment door with a thick folder and a smile that was trying too hard. "Christopher," she said, "we need $200,000. I didn't invite her in right away. I looked at the folder, then at her hands, where blue pin numbers dotted her palm like a grocery list. I stepped into the hall. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't make a speech. I just knew exactly what I was going to hand her instead. This part is numbers because that's how I've survived. Numbers don't gaslight you. They sit there and add up whether you believe them or not. 17. Liam lost a textbook. $98. He'll pay you back, Mom said. He didn't. 18. Dad's truck needed a new battery right before a double shift. I bought one. $172. You saved the day, he said. I'll hit you back Friday. He didn't. 19. Mom's crown wasn't covered. $430 on my card. Well, Venmo, she said. They didn't. 20. Liam's phone overages. $280. He needs it for job hunting, Mom said. He was between opportunities in a way that looked like sleeping till noon. 21. I did their taxes. Found penalties. Set a plan. Covered the first month to get it started. $1,050. This is why you're the responsible one, Mom said, which is family code for open your wallet. 22. Liam needed seed money for a music thing. $700. It became 2 tracks on SoundCloud and a ring light. 23. I co-signed Liam's car. He missed 2 payments. I covered them because credit scores can't absorb charm. $560. 24. A store card arrived addressed to me at their house. Balance, $312. Mom cried. Total accident. I paid it and closed it. I told myself grown men don't make scenes. I added a note to my spreadsheet. Don't bring up at dinner. 25. Water heater died. I negotiated with the plumber and put it on my card. $1,630. You're so good with money, Mom said, as if that compliment were interest I should be grateful for. 26. Liam's brand needed shirts. $1,200. He sold 4 to friends at cost and kept 2 for promo. I swallowed the rest. 27. Dad's knee surgery. I drove, filed forms, sat on hold, made bland chicken, set an alarm for meds. I counted the hours in a column I never totaled because seeing the number would hurt. 28. I told myself I was done co-signing. I stuck a post-it on my debit card and no more. It worked until it didn't. All those little just for now became their own bill. Not just money. Time. Heat. The tiny humiliations of being the reliable background. The family joke Bank of Chris that always landed with a smile and never with a deposit. Boundaries only exist if you enforce them. I had policies I didn't post. Hawaii wasn't the first lie. It was just the most photogenic. After the palm trees, small things tilted. Mom texted a picture of an ocean and wrote, "Gratitude." Dad posted a steak and wrote, "Healing." Liam tagged the hotel with hashtag work hard, play hard. I muted all 3. I told myself there would be a rational explanation later. There wasn't. There never is. There's just spin and the hope you're dizzy enough to accept it. A week after the trip, Liam showed up at my door with a box of donuts and a grin. "Captain," he said. "Small bridge." "How small?" "Like 500,000. I laughed. It wasn't nice. He winced. "Not for me," he said fast. "For Mom and Dad. Interest, fees, you know. Like the kind of problems that cancel vacations?" I asked. He stared down the hallway. "Mom said not to mention that." "I own a phone," I said. "I push the button that opens the world." "Don't be dramatic," he said. "You know you'll help." "No," I said. He blinked like I'd mispronounced English. "You always help." "I used to," I said, because I thought help meant love. He left the donuts on my doormat and walked away. Sugar bled through the box by morning. I threw it out. Then came Mom with the folder. She wore her bank earrings, the small hoops that mean she's serious. She sat on my couch and smoothed her skirt and talked fast. "We're refinancing," she said. "The bank is being ridiculous. Your name would calm them. And there's the arrears and the penalties. We need $200,000. We'll pay you back. We'll write it down if that makes you feel better." "You're asking me to liquidate my future," I said, calmly, evenly. "No," she said, smiling like a realtor. "We're asking you to invest in your family." "Family that went to Hawaii while telling me there were financial problems," I said. My voice stayed level. The room felt like a test. She flinched but recovered. "We needed rest. Your father's knee looked great in the ocean," I said. "Still no heat." Just facts, like reading a meter. Give me a day, I said finally. She hugged me like she'd won. That night, I opened my spreadsheet. I did what I'd been afraid to do. I printed everything. Transfers, bills, bridges, time. I rounded down so I wouldn't look petty. I added mileage. I added PTO hours I'd burned. I added the water heater I'd negotiated down. I added a line called debt, whose name is love. The total knocked the breath out of me. $198,940. Not counting the part of me that had learned to say, okay, before I felt my throat. I typed a header, family account, Christopher T.O. parents plus Liam. Balance due, $0. Status, closed. Then I wrote a one-page letter. Simple words, straight lines. It said, I will not lend, co-sign, guarantee, or open accounts for you. I will remove you as authorized users. Any attempt to open credit in my name will be handled by law, not family meetings. This isn't about revenge. This is about closure. I love you. The answer is no. I put the ledger in one envelope, the letter in another. I labeled them big so nobody could pretend confusion. I slept badly. In the morning, I made coffee in my quiet kitchen and waited for the knock I knew would come. She was 3 minutes late in that on-purpose way she thinks looks casual. Lipstick that matched serious. Folder under her arm like a prop. Did you think about it? She said, already stepping inside. I did, I said. I handed her the first envelope. Take this instead. She frowned. Instead of the 200? Instead of thinking my wallet is the plan. She opened the envelope. Read the header out loud. The way she reads bills she plans to argue. Family account. It's the last one, I said. She skimmed. Textbook, battery, crown, heater. Her voice sped up. You're keeping score. You kept promising payback, I said. This is the score you promised. No one keeps score in a family, Christopher. Then stop asking me to play bank, I said, still calm. We can be family without loans. Her jaw moved. Your father will talk sense into you. Good, I said. Let's all talk. We drove to their house. The living room smelled like lemon cleaner. Dad sat in his recliner with ice on his knee, the TV muted on a game. Liam leaned on the counter, scrolling. What's this? Dad asked when he saw the envelope. My answer, I said. And a record. He read. His eyebrows did math. At the total his mouth tightened. That's not fair. It's not a feeling, I said. It's a sum. Liam laughed, too loud. Captain brought receipts. Mom crossed her arms. We asked you to help save our home, not to rub our noses in every little thing you ever did. I'm saying no, I said. Not punishing. Choosing. Liam slid closer. You're really going to let Mom and Dad lose the house because you're salty about a beach pick? This isn't about revenge, I said softly, because the words arrived like a tool I finally remembered I owned. It's about closure. Dad said, closure, like it was a bad joke. Therapy talk. Yes, I said. And policy. I'm not a bank. Mom held out her hand. What's in the other envelope? My boundary, I said, and gave it to her. She read, will not lend, remove authorized users, legal options. Her face changed like weather. We would never open anything in your name. 3 years ago, I said, still steady, the store card was in my name. That was an accident, she snapped. It paid for Christmas, I said. I closed it and told myself it didn't mean what it meant. Liam shifted. Mom said, stop, Dad said, low and sharp. For a beat it was so quiet I could hear the fridge hum. Mom's hands trembled. She pressed her fingers to her temple like the paper was loud. You're doing this to hurt me, she said. I'm doing this to stop hurting myself, I said. No more co-signing. No more just until. No more Instagram island during financial problems. Dad pointed at the door. You walk out after this, don't come back. I'm not walking out, I said. I'm standing up. Liam rolled his eyes. Captain Mutiny. Liam, Mom warned, but the room was already leaning. Just say yes, he told me. You always say yes. Mom inhaled like she was going underwater. Her lipstick suddenly looked too bright on a face that had gone pale. Christopher, please. You have the money. I have a future, I said. I'm keeping it. She looked down at the letter again, lips moving around the line, no contact for financial matters, like she was sounding out a foreign word. Then her knees gave. Not a swoon, not theater, just a body that forgot how to stand for a second. Her eyes went blank. She folded. Mom. Liam grabbed for her shoulder. Feet up, I said without thinking, catching her, easing her onto the sofa, lifting her ankles onto the ottoman. Old first aid training. My hands worked while my heart pounded. Dad swore. What did you do? I handed her paper. I said. She's breathing. Give her a minute. She came back slowly, blinking at the ceiling, then at me, then at the letter. Christopher? She whispered, as if I'd become someone new. I'm here, I said. I'm not yelling. I'm not leaving. I'm saying no. She sat up, touched her hair, smoothed the envelope like it might change its mind. You'll regret this. No, I said. I regret everything that got us here. I won't regret the door closing on it. I didn't slam the door when I left. I stacked the cushions I'd moved, washed the glass I'd filled, put it upside down on the rack, old habit, and drove home. By the time I climbed my stairs, missed calls were blooming on my screen. By midnight, I had 31. Dad left 3 voicemails. One angry, you broke your mother. One bargaining, we can do a smaller amount. Just sign the refinance. One tired, your mother is resting. You always were the sensible one. Be sensible. I listened to all of them once and then again just to be sure I wasn't missing a sentence that could make it simple. There wasn't one. Liam texted a stream. Bro, come on. We can split it. Okay, 150. Okay, just cosign. You're embarrassing yourself. Captain turned corporate. I put my phone face down and watched the salon below close. Gate down, neon off, the building making that night-settling sound. Day 2, my aunt called. Your mother fainted, she said immediately. I was there, I said. She says you threatened legal action. I said I would protect my credit, I said. That's not a threat. That's a rule. Christopher, she sighed, pulling the word like taffy. This family helps. I did, I said. For 14 years. She started to say blood is thicker, and I ended the call because cliches are alarms now. Day 3, Mom texted a paragraph. I didn't lie, it began. Hawaii was for your father's health. You don't understand what it's like to be a mother. Liam is under pressure. You are good with money. We need you. Be the bigger person. I typed and erased 4 replies. I sent 12 words. I love you. I'm not available for financial support. She replied with a photo of me at 6 holding a plastic shovel. Under it, you used to be sweet. I stared at the screen until my chest hurt, then put the phone down and cried with the kind of small, private sound you make when you stub a toe in the dark. I set a timer for 6 minutes. When it beeped, I washed my face. Practical things helped. I removed my parents as authorized users on my cards. I froze my credit with the bureaus. I set fraud alerts. I changed every password. I moved my email recovery off my mother's number because years ago she helped me set it up. I called HR and asked if anyone besides me could see my PTO. Your emergency contact has access to certain pages, the rep said. Do you want to update? I did. I put down my friend Logan instead. Then it got uglier. A new credit inquiry popped up. Bank I don't use. My stomach did a drop like a bad elevator. I called. We have a mortgage application under your name, the rep said cheerfully. Co-applicant. Liam. I didn't apply, I said. That's fraud. We killed it. I sent the report to a lawyer friend, who fired off a letter polite enough to be legal and sharp enough to be a knife. Liam texted 10 minutes later, misunderstanding. I replied, do not use my name. He wrote, family doesn't need contracts. I wrote, apparently we do. That same week, I booked a therapist. Tuesday, 8 a.m., telehealth, a woman with steady eyes. She didn't make faces at the Hawaii part. She asked, what happens inside you when your phone rings? I said, my jaw locks, my shoulders climb, my stomach crumples like foil. She said, can we practice letting that pass before you answer? We practiced sentences I hated at first. I'm not discussing money. I can't help with that. I'm ending the call now. I said them out loud to my laptop until they didn't taste like betrayal. Work shifted. I wasn't carrying the quiet fear of the next ask. I finished a design package early. I labeled a panel with my neat block letters and felt a silly wave of pride. I ate lunch outside without my phone in my hand. Sunday, Dad called at 2:07 p.m. I don't want to fight, he said, voice made of gravel. Your mother says to say she's sorry about the store card. I'm sorry too. He said it like he'd swallowed a nail. I believed the part where it hurt to say. Thank you, I said. We can't do 200, he said. We get it. But we need help. Not money. Just sit with us. One call to the mortgage people. I can sit, I said. I won't pay. Okay, he said, like the word cut. We sat. I brought a legal pad. Drew 3 columns. Needs, nice, not now. I put Hawaii, under past, and drew a line through it like closing a tab. We called a HUD counselor. We learned hard, boring words. Forbearance. Repayment plan. We built a budget that didn't include Liam's marketing spend. Liam breezed in late saying, I found an investor. I wrote Jim Guy next to it and put it under not now. Mom cried once. Dad rubbed his knee and stared at the TV, sound low. I said no 4 times. It didn't kill anyone. When we finished, I stood. Christopher, Mom said, voice small. What about? No. I said, gentle. But I'll email the counselor's notes. She nodded, disappointed in the shape of her mouth. I knew that look. It used to hook me. It didn't. On my way out, Liam followed me to the porch. About the bank thing, he said, words too fast. I'm sorry. I accept that you said words, I said. Don't do it again. He frowned. You've changed. I grew up, I said. You should try it. I went home. I took the vacation bag out of my closet, pulled the sailboat trunks, cut the tag, and packed a duffel. I booked 3 nights at a boring lake an hour away. Off-season rate, no palm trees. I didn't post a photo. I sat on a dock and watched light move on water. I slept 8 hours without dreaming I'd missed a payment. On the last morning, I wrote on the motel pad, "This isn't revenge. This is a breaker reset." I underlined it twice. Back home, I taped a copy of my letter inside my desk drawer. Not to wave around, to remind myself on weekdays. The policy still stands. Boundaries are maintenance, not an event. Weeks passed. Mom tried a new script, niceness. I made soup. Want some? I said yes, with a rule, no money talk. Dad asked me to look at the porch light. I did. I wanted to. It took 10 minutes and a fresh GFCI. Liam texted links to hoodies I didn't buy. I sent him a radiation of neutral. Looks good. He replied with a thumbs up, like we were networking. The call slowed. My body learned what quiet feels like. Not empty, just room temperature. I started running 3 mornings a week, slow, 2 miles, back before the salon opened. I cooked on Sundays and put leftovers in stacked containers with masking tape labels because I like knowing what's inside before I open things. I even let myself want small stuff again. A better coffee grinder, a plant I might keep alive, a weekend class on woodworking. Nothing big, just life without a constant invoice attached. People want a twist. Did they sell the house? Not yet. Did Liam blow up? He sold 8 hoodies at a pop-up and posted a victory lap. Did your mom apologize? She said, I shouldn't have said some of what I said. That's as close as she gets. It's fine. I'm not collecting apologies. I'm collecting days that don't ask me for money. I'm not the hero of this. I'm not the villain either. I'm the guy who finally looked at the panel and labeled the circuits correctly. The living room doesn't run on the bathroom anymore. When somebody flips a switch, you know what goes on and off. That's all I wanted. Predictable light. Bills with my name on them and nobody else's. And a bag in the closet that says vacation because I labeled it, not because anyone promised. 8 weeks since I handed my mother paper instead of money. My phone is quiet in a way that isn't empty. The ledger sits on a shelf. When I peek, it steadies me. Sunday calls at 7 o'clock. No money talk. If someone says loan, we hang up. We've done it twice. The third Sunday, nobody tried. Liam texted, found an investor. I replied, great. He added, not asking you. I sent, great, again. 2 greats felt like a small miracle. Mom stopped sending beach photos. Now it's soup, bad lighting, captions like too much salt. I answer, looks good. She replies, I know. Small, safe, edible. Dad had me relabel the breaker panel last weekend. Kitchen marked as kitchen, bedrooms as bedrooms. 2 mystery 15 amps retired. I told him which switch to flip before he touched the porch outlet. He nodded like I'd given him a secret. At the door, Mom said, I'm still mad. I said, I know. I'm still hurt. She looked at my face and said, but you look lighter. Boundaries are cheaper than bailouts, I said. She half smiled. Eat something. Always. Here's the moral I'm keeping for myself, taped where I'll see it. I won't buy love with loans. I won't rent my future so other people can feel comfortable today. I won't co-sign denial or pretend Instagram is private when the bill is public. I won't be the family ATM just because I understand interest. I will answer calls about recipes, cats, porch lights, or plans that include effort from everyone. I will keep my tools sharp, my passwords private, my credit frozen, my pantry stocked. I will say no, like flipping a clean switch, not like breaking a wire. This isn't about revenge. This is about closure. Closure, for me, is a labeled panel, a steady hum, lights that come on when you want them to, and a bill that finally reads, balance due, $0.